To launch HFM, you want to open up your Internet Explorer, and I've got a shortcut set for Camoplast. You want to open up the workspace, and you can see the address up here. It's also listed in your work instruction. Once this page loads, you want to enter your user ID and your password. This password is the Active Directory password that you use for your Windows machine every day. And once you've entered it, you can log on. You'll see that the authenticating user pops up, and it looks like it's frozen, but it actually just takes a few seconds to log in. Now you might get this error that says the startup document specified does not exist in the repository. This error is very common when you log in for the first time, so don't be surprised. We are going to set our preferences so that you don't get this in the future. So click OK, and to set the preference you want to go to File Preferences, and as you can see, the content that you default to is the home page. What we want to do is we want to change this to the application because we're only going to use one application. We've got a consolidation application called CS HFM Prod 1. Go ahead and click that. The rest of the options can be left as default. In authentication, there's nothing that we can change because all of the authentication is done by Active Directory. In the Explore menu, you can set a default folder or set up a new document folder. However, there are very few reports and folders in this setup, so you will most likely leave these blank. In the Financial Reporting tab, the default preview mode can be run in either PDF or HTML. In the user point of view, we want to change this to on. For those of you in Europe, you can change the thousands and decimal separators, and you can also change the date format. Under consolidation, you've got your list of startup preferences, and again we only have access to the one application, so we can just set that, and as you can see, everything defaults in. As far as the language is concerned, HFM has been set up in English and French. However, there are no French aliases. So if you change this to French, you will see nothing because no one's done the translation yet. So leave that at English. Click Save. And in order to see your preferences have changed, you're going to have to re-log in. Go ahead and click OK. OK. Now if we log off, I'm going to show you that that error message no longer appears. So go ahead and log in. And when it opens, you can see that we're in application CS HFM Prod 1. Now when we're navigating the HFM desktop, in the work instruction you'll see I've got things laid out as far as where you can find certain items. So across the top here we've got our main menu, just like any other application. We've got a toolbar, and depending on what actions you're doing within HFM, this toolbar will change. You've got your browser view window here, and this you can change between browser view and a project view, and we'll go over that later. This here on the left hand side we call the view pane, and in the right hand side this is kind of your main HFM area. So if we start going through the individual menus, in the file menu you can see the choices that we've got here. Most likely you will open either a document or an application, and for our example you'll be using an application called CS HFM Prod 1. We're already there. when we logged in. We'll also be looking at our preferences, and you can log off here, or up in the upper right hand corner of the window you also have a log off button. In our view menu, you've got some options here where you can hide or view the masthead. You can hide or view the view pane, and there's also an advanced mode which you can turn on or off. The masthead, if we hide it, you can see that the upper portion of the HFM window is hidden. This gives you a little more real estate when you're doing work if you need it. In order to get that back, you can see if I drag my mouse to the top of the tab here and just drag down, you can see that it is back to normal. The view pane you can turn off. That's if you want to get a little more real estate going lengthwise. And to get that back, again, you just kind of pull it back here. Now before I mentioned the browser versus project view, the advanced mode is essentially the browser view. So if we turn that off, you're automatically placed in project view. And what this view is, it's a preset task list that we've set up in order for you to easily go down the list of things that you need to do in order to close your month end. If you want to use the browser view, if you prefer to use the browser view, it functions very similarly to a Windows file system. You can see we've got our documents, we've got some forms and grids, we've got reporting, we've got a link, but this way you kind of need to dig down and get into what you're looking for. Whereas if we're looking at our project view, everything's nicely laid out here. For now, we're going to skip the administration menu, but as you can see, the screenshot that is in your work instruction differs very slightly from what I have on my screen, and that's due to the rights that you're given by the administrator. So for the time being, we're not going to go through any of these items. You can explore them on your own if that's what you feel like doing, but you will not need to use this menu in order to close your books. The next portion of the work instruction shows you how to set up your own task list. Now when we're going through the project view, you've got a month-end reporting task list here. If you set up your own task list, yours will also appear in the project view. I'm not going to go through a step-by-step, but you've got the instructions if you prefer to set up your own task list. It's very explicit as to how you do that, but for the time being, this month-end reporting task list that the administrator has set up allows you to do everything within HFM that you need to do in order to close your month-end books. Finally, as I've gone over before, in order to log off, you can go to the File menu and log off here, or you can simply go to the button in the upper right-hand window, click Log Off. It gives you a confirmation window, click Yes, and in a couple seconds you'll come back to the login screen.